Welcome to Soul of a Truck, a podcast about the band The Killers, where every week Michael and Spencer find new and interesting ways of fucking up the audio. I'm your host, Spencer Polio, and with me, as always, is Michael Nance. Michael, how are you today?
I'm pretty good. Doing all right.
How's your quarantine going?
It's, probably better for me than a lot of other people. I love video games, so,
So you just been gaming?
Pretty much.
Yeah. I bought No Man's Sky the other day.
Oh, okay. Finally took the plunge.
Yeah. Did you hear about Hello Games' next game that's coming out?
No.
Yeah, what you do is you're playing as a modern philosopher, and you talk about various issues in the modern world. It's called Gnome Chom Sky.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we're I've been thinking about that pun all week, and it's just so bad.
Well, congratulations. I mean, you said it. You sure said it.
Yeah. I mean, that's really the goal. But I've been listening to a lot of music. There's so much good, like, what's it called? Quarantine content going on right now.
That's true.
Like Goldfinger, like today dropped them doing the quarantine like band playing together thing, and they did Superman, which, as you know, was in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, which is a sick game. Or no, it's the first Tony Hawk, isn't it?
That has Superman? Yes, the first Tony Hawk's Pro Skater had Superman by Goldfinger.
Yeah, I think
that soundtrack is legendary. PS2, legendary.
Oh hell yeah!
I remember Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 was one of the first games I got on my GameCube. So
yeah, hell yeah!
On that weird ass controller.
Hey man, don't knock the GameCube controller.
It's top tier. It's just weird,
Yeah, you got to get used to it.
Yeah,
but as far as like Killers news is concerned, I mean, you've been showing me all kinds of cool Killer stuff because I don't really go to Reddit. And so you showed me the Killers song tier list.
Yes.
That list was not very good, but it gave me the one thing it did do, and I appreciated the hell out of this. It gave me like a sense of how many songs we have to do. But the more I looked at it, the more I realized that list doesn't have any of the Christmas songs on it. And it's very sad, because the Christmas Killers songs are wonderful. And it also didn't have the song that was on Yo Gabba Gabba, which I just found.
Oh, wow. That was random?
Yeah. So the Killers did a song for the children's TV show Yo Gabba Gabba, and we're going to have to do that song. That is a straight up, no bullshit Killers song. But
all right.
But anyway, something that I've personally been doing a lot of during this quarantine is I've been watching movies.
Okay.
And it's been really frustrating because, South by got canceled this year. So we didn't get to, participate in all the fun, like local independent films.
That's true.
From South by Southwest. And so it got me thinking about like films that premiered at South by, and so I've been watching a lot of movies. I watched the FP, which I know you've seen.
Yes.
And I also watched you ever heard of the movie John Dies at the End?
Yes, I have heard of that movie. I've never seen it, but I've heard of it.
So I watched that a few years ago, and I recently rewatched it. And the thing that happens that really is weird is like John doesn't die at the end. He appears to die, and then he comes back. So I guess it seems like they were able to unkill Johnny.
Oh my God, Uncle Jonny. And that's today's song.
Got you again. So the song Uncle Jonny by the band The Killers. What do you think about cocaine, Michael?
You know, it's for some people. It's not necessarily for me, but you know, some people love it, and it really gives you a boost. You know, as an alternative to
coffee, tea, cocaine. You ever see the movie Scarface?
Yes, of course.
I've actually never seen Scarface all the way through. Like I've seen it like on TV, and like I've seen like probably bits and pieces of the whole movie, but I never actually sat down and watched Scarface,
it's entertaining. It's a good movie, I'd say, overall, and there's lots of cocaine in it.
There's a shitload of cocaine in it. Mountains, piles, planets of cocaine, planet cocaine. Do you ever do you know anyone who's struggled with drug use? Because I have a story. I actually need to 100% confirm that I can tell this story, but I'm just gonna not talk about this person directly. But
okay.
But do you know anyone who's like struggles with that sort of thing that you'd be willing to talk about on the pod?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. My dad always did growing up. So it's that was challenging.
I can't even imagine. You got any good stories? That's hi. Welcome to deep sadness from personal feelings.
Right. Yeah. I didn't know I'd be getting in the nitty gritty. This is what Soul of a Truck is all about. You know, when you are on the long haul, you kind of have to, you know, release occasionally, or it's just never going to come together.
It's never going to come.
It's never going to come alive.
Oh, yeah. Oh no. We've made this thing a thing.
Well, so yeah, I mean, it's a challenging thing when someone's addicted to cocaine because they are moody, and also, you know, when they're on cocaine, they can be really crazy and difficult to deal with. So yeah, it's my uncle, I think my great uncle. What's the thing where it's like your grandfather's generation? But yeah, I'd be your great uncle.
Yeah, my great uncle struggled with addiction, and he would have like flashbacks. Like I don't know if he did cocaine. He did a lot of acid.
Oh wow.
And so he would have drug flashbacks, and I think I've met him like twice. But my grandfather recently passed away, who he is the brother of, and we were all expecting him to be there, but he couldn't make it because of health issues. So,
oh geez,
you know, drugs are bad. Okay. Now, Brandon Flowers is, as you know, Mormon.
Yes,
and
he is Mormon.
And, you know, Mormons tend to, you know, avoid a lot of those
even
kinds
caffeine.
of... Yeah.
They avoid caffeine, the true ones.
Yeah. But he occasionally does drink and smoke. But the Killers they're actually kind of straight edge, or like just straight. They don't really do any of that, like any of the big time drug boy things.
You know, I analyzed this when I read this information recently I gave self-analysis, you know, who knows if I'm right or whatever. But one thing, it kind of makes some of the lyrics and like the weird Brandon poetry make a little bit more sense, because if he is as like, you know, prudish for a rock star as his nature and his interviews would have you believe, then like some of the things he's singing about would be like a person talking about partying from a distance. You know what I mean? So, because there's like a grittiness to the Killers that I think they embrace in their music that might not come from a real place, but from like an observer's position.
So it's, you know, third person interpretation.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. There's a lot of like really good quotes from the band. I actually have a link to their song facts if you check the Google Doc.
Okay.
And I posted the pertinent ones, but so I already said the basic equivalent of the first one, but the second one is concerning alcohol. The band has a strict daily schedule in their tour rider. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday are reserved for Maker's Mark whiskey. Great choice. And Absolute vodka. Less great choice. Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday are for Jack Daniel's whiskey and gin. And Sunday is exclusively the province of tequila and Jameson. Sick as fuck.
Wow. Okay. You got an alcohol schedule.
Hey, man, you know, as someone with a kit of booze, I can appreciate, you know, a little bit of planning surrounding your drinking, considering that is literally what I do. Do you have any kind of booze preferences? I'm always interested in those sort of things.
I like gin.
Really? You ever had?
Yeah, gin is my fave.
There's a brand that I'm a big fan of called shit. Now I've forgotten the name of it. It's Martin Miller's. That's the brand.
I've never had that.
Oh, it's so good. And if you can get their extra, like slightly higher proof version, it's a little smoother and it mixes with basically everything. It's one of the best like gins on the market.
Now, about this song, Uncle Jonny.
Yes. Do you have the Genius? Oh yeah, this is the thing. I forgot about this. This song, last week we were talking about how Killer songs tend to be they don't sound like they're from a personal perspective. They're very, they always sound like a character. This song is actually about Brandon's Uncle Jonny.
Right. Yes.
And you were doing a bunch of research about this. You should talk about this one because it's really interesting.
So the weirdest thing that I read, because I mean, apparently Uncle Jonny, confirmed by Brandon himself, is real, had drug problems, kind of the rock star uncle, wayward uncle. But the thing I read that I could not confirm, seemed rumored, was that he loved to do cocaine so much that he had like a cocaine psychosis, that he started to develop like this paranoia, and he tried to shoot his own testicles off because he believed aliens were trying to steal his semen, which is bonkers because, you know, I would, do people do that much cocaine?
I mean, Uncle Jonny clearly did. But the thing about that gets me is like, why would shooting off your own testicle like cause the aliens to not have access to your semen? If anything, it puts it closer to the open so they can just beam it up.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to get that semen.
Yeah.
No matter what you do.
I mean, come on, Uncle Jonny. But don't come on, Uncle Jonny. There's actually a further part to that story, which is from what I understand, when he did that, he shot off his own testicle. Or he shot himself like just in the groinial area.
Groin, right?
Yeah. So when I read something like that, and I want to know where your brain goes for this, but when you read something like that, does your mind go, he blew his dick off, or does it just mean he shot himself in the pelvic region?
I read it as he shot himself in the pelvic region. You know what I mean? Like, he's still okay. He just kind of shot himself in like the upper groin or something. Because if you were like fucking freaking out on coke and having that level of psychosis, I think it's totally feasible that you just get the angle wrong and shoot yourself in the crotch.
Yeah, that sounds awful, though.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way to sound pleasant. It doesn't sound like a bonus. Be like, oh, I just only got the crotch.
Yeah, he'd probably have trouble getting a bonus after that.
Oh my God. Wow.
According to songfacts.com, he's actually heard this song.
Yes.
So
and he's okay with it, but you know, I mean, what are you going to do? It's out there.
Would you want a song about your horrific cocaine addiction to be out in the world?
You know, if I had made peace with my addiction, then yes, that would be fine. You know, that's okay.
That's fair.
I think that's part of recovery.
Yeah. So I actually didn't post the lyrics inside of the thing, Google Doc, but there they are. Actually, before we do that, let's talk about Sam's Town. I'm going to cut that. So what do you think about Sam's Town in general?
Sam's Town. I like Sam's Town. I think it's really good.
I feel like, and you know, I watched a lot of interviews and I watched a lot of there's some YouTube music reviewer who is going back and reviewing like older albums. Okay. And his view about Sam's Town is that he didn't like it when it dropped because he was expecting more of Hot Fuss.
Right.
But it's kind of grown on him. And the thing is, I didn't want more of Hot Fuss when it came out. And I didn't think that it was as good of an album, but I didn't think it was as good of an album as Hot Fuss.
Same. I appreciated that the Killers went in a different direction. I always appreciate that when an artist tries to, it's weird. I draw parallels between the way the Killers went with this album to the way, I'm not sure how familiar you are with Cage the Elephant, but the way they went with their second album.
I actually never heard the second Cage the Elephant album, but go on.
But you heard the first one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, with the big hit and everything, and it kind of had like a gritty Western bluesy rock or like Midwest bluesy rock thing going on. And then they released this album that the second album called Thank You Happy Birthday, which is more like the way the Killers transitioned from Hot Fuss to this album, which is kind of Hot Fuss is so like synth poppy and sleek, and it kind of has like a grittiness. This is gritty too, but it's different. I feel like it is encapsulated pretty well by its album cover, which I appreciate.
It's funny. I actually grew up with Midwest rock. My dad is a huge fan of like REO and John Mellencamp and wow, Bruce Springsteen and all those guys.
Okay, yeah.
And so for me, like I played this with my dad in the car because my dad likes the Killers, which I always thought was kind of funny. And he was like, "Oh yeah, this sounds like all the Midwest music I listen to." And I'm like, "Well, yeah." And so it's kind of funny that he actually likes this album more than he likes Hot Fuss, because their first album is it's so British, you know?
Yeah. Brit pop, British synth pop, that type of thing.
And Sam's Town is just it's so Midwestern. It's so, you know, it's so nostalgic for the youth of the Midwest. And the more research I do about that album, it's just, this whole album is nothing but like songs that are incredibly personal to Brandon Flowers.
Yeah.
But Brandon Flowers sounds like he's singing about characters all the time. And so you don't realize it listening to it. And so for years, I thought this was a concept album, honestly.
I did get that impression when I first listened to it. I mean, I was pretty hyped up for this because I loved Hot Fuss, and the Killers represented like a new wave of music along with like the Strokes.
Franz Ferdinand.
Franz Ferdinand. There's a couple others, but those are the big ones that stand out to me. And this album, I can't say I wasn't disappointed in it in certain ways because I was so excited by Hot Fuss, but I did appreciate that it was different. And several of the songs really grew on me, like the titular track, Sam's Town. I also really like Bones has grown on me a little bit, but I'm still not a huge fan of Bones. And, I also really like When You Were Young and This River Is Wild. So
honestly, the one thing I can say about Sam's Town, and then we'll go on to lyrics, is that Sam's Town is easily the most like beginning to end listenable of all of the Killers albums, I think. Like,
really, even more so than Hot Fuzz.
Yeah, I stopped listening to Hot Fuss after song 7. Honestly, it's just one of those albums where the last like third of that album is just it's basically like a blank spot in my memory. There's a lot of songs like that by them because it's just like, wow, this song sucks. I don't want to listen to this ever again. And
let me see I need to look at the track listing for Hot Fuss to see what's after 7. Okay. Change Your Mind, Believe Me, Natalie, Midnight. Yeah, actually.
Well, Change Your Mind is the last song I listened to. I think that's song.
That's 8. That's 8.
That's 8? Whatever. 8.
Yeah. That's true. You get all the good ones though before that, but we don't want to get too off track here.
Yeah. So let's open up the lyrics here. I've got them. I had them open.
Yeah, I got them open.
Here we go. So when everybody else refrained, my Uncle Jonny did cocaine. He's convinced himself right in his brain that it helps to take away the pain. Hey, Johnny. Hey, what you say, Johnny?
Now, in verse 1, I'm going to highlight something that I'm going to create a theory right here.
A theory.
Yes, a theory that one of the things that can be so off-putting about Brandon's lyrics is that he is a syllable adder. And I mean that he says things in a way to extend syllables or insert syllables for like the sake of meter, but it can feel forced. So the line, he's convinced himself right in his brain, clearly it's for a cadence or a pattern he was trying to create with the poetry, but that's just an awkward lyric.
I can see that. Trying to think of how to contribute to this. Keep talking.
So yeah, I mean, that's just, I think we'll be able to note other instances of this in future lyrical research and deep dives.
That's fair.
So keep an ear out, podcast listeners. If you see those, or if I will try and notate those from here on out.
The Brandon Flowers added syllable theory. I love it.
Yes.
He's the second verse is the other thing about this song is there's not really a chorus to it. You notice that?
Yeah. It's just, hey, there's that, hey, Johnny, hey, what you say, Johnny. That's like the closest thing we get to a
it's
chorus.
It's Passover right now. I don't know how much you know about Jewish holidays, and I don't really celebrate them, but I am Jewish. And
Did you guys celebrate it when you still lived at home?
Oh, definitely. I'm the non-religious one of the family. We did like a Seder like a couple of days ago. We did like a Seder over Zoom, and we had half the family there. It was actually crazy. But it's almost like it would have been enough, the Dayenu, if you will, which isn't quite right, but whatever. But I feel like I'm not really contributing much to this, so I'm trying to just grasp at straws. But this song, there was something I wanted to talk about in verse 2. How do you feel about the line Superman and Hold On Tight?
Yeah, okay, so you were talking earlier about how you skip after Change Your Mind, you're just done with Hot Fuss. Yes. This song I always skipped over, listening to even in casual re-listens. Really only since we decided we were going to choose this song this week have I listened to this song intently. And fair enough. It only reinforced that I just don't think it's a very good song. I mean, the lyrics are really weird, and they don't they don't make much sense to me. Yeah, like so Superman and Hold On Tight. That just makes, does that mean you're flying away? Because like levitation ain't your only friend. Levitation coming back again. I guess that's to use levitation as a like, pseudonym for getting high. But
But I guess, yeah. So Superman and Hold On Tight is like he's flying, so you better hold on. Maybe.
Yeah, I guess so. That's the best way I can read it.
That, or he's like lying on the ground, like sprawled out with his arms out. And he's like, "Hold on, fellas." Can you just imagine like him like just tripping balls and
I'm flying away.
Yeah, but he's just like lying on the ground, like rolling and writhing. I mean, the lyrics in this song are pretty much they feel like nonsense, but the song is so damned chaotic that it makes a lot of like kind of a sixth sense, if that makes
right. Because the things that this song succeeds with to me is like it sounds gritty and it sounds dirty, which for the subject matter and I guess the thematic elements of the song is perfect. So that they nailed. It's not incredibly catchy or interesting to me. And the lyrics themselves are a little vacuous at times, but otherwise, Uncle Jonny's entertaining. I'll give it that.
I agree with that. I think the thing that this song does for me is it's kind of a break. Where in the album is this? I always forget. In Sam's Town, it's towards the end. It's between Read My Mind, which is an incredible track, and Bones, which I'm not even gonna begin to express my feelings on.
But I have feelings on Bones.
So do I. But it's like that. Bones is gonna be a fun one for me. I don't know about you, but anyway, But Uncle Jonny is such like a chill song to an extent between Read My Mind and Bones.
Yeah, that's true.
And so it's almost a break, but because it's so harsh sounding, because Brandon is like yelling, he just yells the lyrics and he barely, the most melodic part of the song, he doesn't even sing. Because that's the bridge, tell us what's going on. Because the rest of the song, Brandon is just screaming everything he sings. Or, at one point he just starts talking. Hey, Jonny, I got faith in you, man. I mean it. It's going to be all right. That's another added syllable, the I mean it. And then...
Yeah, I agree.
But it's just so weird for me that this is the song that Brandon, I feel like this is the most personal song on the album, to be honest, because he's talking about something that's almost like, I mean, if you're talking about your cocaine addicted uncle, is that like a positive and upbeat subject?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
But that's par for the course for Sam's Town.
Exactly. But like this song is just so it's such a bummer, and it really kind of leans into that. It's honestly like it's a classic. It's so good, but at the same time it's like, I don't know, there's a lot to it. And musically it's fun. The Dave's guitar is just it's lovely. It's so grungy. Like
it is very grungy. Like I said, it's a dirty bluesy type sounding song, which I do think thematically it nails, but still it's not one of my faves on the album.
Yeah. So I did a bunch of research for this.
Okay.
And we did not get a lot of there's not a lot of actual like videos of people playing Uncle Jonny. something I should do is, oh yeah, we're not at live versions yet. So this is the kind of stuff I found. Like if you just search Uncle Jonny on YouTube, the first result is do you have the Watch Together open?
Let me open it up. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Johnny, yes, Papa family version. Is this what we're trying to watch?
Yeah, this is what we're trying to watch. Here, let's watch a few seconds of this.
Okay.
Uncle.
Yes, Wendy.
Eating pizza.
No, Wendy.
Are you sure?
Yes, Wendy.
Show me your hands.
Oopsie.
Uncle John, you shouldn't eat junk food. It's not good for you.
What? Jesus Christ.
You shouldn't eat junk food. It's not good for you. It's so loud. It's so loud.
That is just that's so painful.
It's pure nightmares. But there's a bunch of stuff. There's
that is a play on that classic Nightmare Fuel internet video that was a big meme for a bit, which I'm sure you've seen the original, right?
I don't.
Johnny, yes, Papa. It's okay. So it's somehow like just as cutesy as that what we just watched, but worse and creepier. So you'll have to watch it we can watch it after the pod, but it's people listening out there. Take a listen, take a watch if you've got it out there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play that on the pod. I don't want us to be like cursed for all eternity. Another thing I found is this thing called Uncle Jonny Reggae. So we're gonna play that.
God. Okay. Which one's Uncle Jonny? Is it the like Greek man?
It's the man with the microphone.
Spencer, this is gonna be you in like 30 years.
God, I hope not. Don't say such things.
You're gonna wear a newsy cap, a button-down shirt that's open, and sing reggae music on like what appears to be a carnival cruise, or maybe that's somebody's bar mitzvah. I don't know.
It's a carnival cruise
Lula
bar
Lounge.
mitzvah.
The Lula Lounge.
Yeah, that's a carnival cruise bar mitzvah.
Wow, that is a double whammy.
Yeah. And then there's also this.
Okay.
This is actually kind of an interesting one. Oh, there's the lyrics. This one is a talk by a guy named Kevin Kling.
Okay.
And he discusses his Uncle Jonny.
I think of my Uncle Jonny.
Here we go.
He's passed on now, but nobody epitomized summer like Uncle Jonny. I can still picture him on hot summer days perched on his aluminum lawn chair, holding court, framed by the proscenium of his open garage door, a Schlitz tall boy permanently attached to his hand. Every chair Uncle Jonny sat in seemed to be made for him. My Uncle Don used to say, "Kev, your Uncle Jonny smells all the roses all the time." I remember one time.
Well, okay. Well, there's some poetry for you about Uncle Jonny.
It's almost like a spoken word, like just a old folksy story. Kevin Kling I think he's a radio personality. Yeah, he is an American storyteller, and he does NPR stuff. And he has a shriveled left arm, and after a motorcycle accident, he has a paralyzed right arm. So,
Oh my God.
Yeah. But he's very, very Midwestern. The story here, let's jump ahead to a little bit further down the story.
Johnny pointed at his dog. Now, I got nothing against vegetarians. Some of my favorite foodstuffs are vegetarians. But he'd tell me to beware the terrible teas, as he called them. Tofu, tamari, tahini, tabbouleh. He'd say that kind of food will kill you from boredom. Johnny carefully applies more wood chips to the fire. They've soaked in water in order to burn real slow and provide the smoke that flavors the meat.
So weird.
Barbecue is the reason God put smoke with fire, but it burns my eyes and I have to look away. Johnny stays in the center of the curling smoke. It's a small price to pay, and he knows to reach paradise one must occasionally dance with the devil.
Wow.
I
Well-
just love the. I mean, if you listen to the whole thing, he talks about barbecue, and it sounds awesome. Honestly, as someone who likes to cook,
I do love me some BBQ.
yeah, but we're in Texas, so Texas barbecue is not the same thing. He's talking about pulled pork.
Pulled pork.
Pulled pork. So there's a couple of live tracks as always.
Okay, let's hit some live Uncle Jonny. Hit me with it.
Live Uncle Jonny. So this is Glastonbury in how far are we? Oh, yeah, perfect. So this is Glastonbury in 2007. Did I copy it? Okay. Boop. Here we go. Now this is definitely more like Brandon Flowers. Him doing the Freddie Mercury thing.
Oh, they misspelled it.
Yeah.
Somebody didn't do their research.
Unlike us. Also, look at what he's wearing.
Right?
Describe it.
He looks. He looks like Donny Osborne or something from like the Vegas days. Like something Tom Jones would wear. It's like a diamond. Oh my god! So he's like wearing he needs the suit jacket, but it's like all the rest of a 3-piece suit that's covered in like diamonds.
Donny Osmond.
Yeah.
He said Osborne.
I said Osborne.
Yeah.
Oh, Donny Osmond. My bad.
I'm a little bit country. Isn't that the Osmonds? I don't actually know music.
Dude, I don't know. Man, that is a sweet guitar.
I just want to watch a little bit of it just because you don't get a lot of the song from the beginning.
The bass sound he's using for this song sounds a lot like the bass that he used the bass sound he used for Jenny Was a Friend of Mine.
Oh yeah, it's a similar tone. Also, a rare case of Brandon actually playing. I don't know what he's playing because there's no piano in this song.
Right.
Oh well, it's a prop.
All right. Well, there's Uncle Jonny live in Glastonbury. Very very nice set. That the antlers on that keyboard were pretty cool.
It's got that kind of like hunting feel.
Yeah.
Now this is from so that was from like basically when the song dropped or like a few years after.
Okay.
This is from 2016.
Oh, okay, newer.
And it appears to still be the band's original
Yeah,
lineup.
look. And it's that same antler keyboard thing
They
with
actually
Christmas
did.
lights on it.
This is kind of an interesting thing. The band did like a huge show for the like 10th anniversary of Samstown, and this is probably from that show or around that time. So for the longest time, I thought Brandon was wearing like a one-piece like bodysuit, but that is actually That is actually like a pair of pinstripe pants and like come on, clothing. You know what those are called? A waistcoat.
Vest?
A waistcoat.
Oh, a waistcoat. Yes.
Yes. And in a lot of the videos, you'll see him wearing this thing that I had to look up the name of it. It's called a bolo tie.
Oh yeah, yeah. Those are big down here.
I've never seen those in my life. I don't understand like what isn't a tie. What is the point of a tie other than like as like garish formal wear?
It keeps your collar, you button the top and then it keeps your collar together. I think initially, but now it really is just garish formal wear.
Yeah, but like, isn't that what the button on the top of the shirt is for?
Yeah, it's I
Ties-
wish I knew.
Clothing-
Ties are whack.
Clothing is confusing. Also,
Yeah,
so I love ties. I wear bow ties. You know this.
that's true. I mean, I'd wear a bolo tie. It's a Southwestern look. Yeah, you know who famously wears a bolo tie is Doug Dimmadome.
Owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome. Yes.
Yes, the man himself.
God damn it.
He probably does cocaine with Uncle Jonny. I mean, there's no way Doug Dimmadome doesn't do mountains of blow.
I mean, he probably keeps it in his fucking hat that
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm thinking.
you can't see the top of. Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome here. Who wants to do some cocaine? Oh man, we're aging ourselves for that one.
Yeah,
It's
That's
fine.
fine. We're also doing a podcast about the Killers. I feel like that's aging us as well.
Yeah, you're right. So this is we've got a few covers. There's not a lot actually. So this episode is going to be a little bit on the short side, but not as short as I was expecting it to be, honestly. But so this is Eat My Uke, and he performs the entirety of Sam's Town on the ukulele. So I gotta pause it and go to 2 minutes and 10 seconds for us to get to Uncle Jonny, and we're gonna get a little bit of Read My Mind, but whatever.
There it is. Wow.
Truly, honestly, that song's pretty sick on the uke. I like.
Yeah. It sounded good on there.
Yeah, I really like kind of the. It's a nice uke. He gets like good tone on it. Maybe it's just because of how he holds the microphone to it.
Yeah, it's probably high quality too.
Yeah. And of course, you can't talk about covers by the Killers without talking about Maximum Power, who has covered basically every song by the band. And this is an older one of his videos. Now, just from the angle of this, it looks like if he stands up, he's going to just bash his head in on...
Yeah, right?
Everybody else refrained. My Uncle Jonny did cocaine. He's convinced himself right in his brain.
This version's pretty good.
Take away the pain.
It sounds good on just the acoustic guitar.
So something I want to talk about with Maximum Power, I honestly kind of want to get him on the pod because
Okay.
something he is not doing, which I value and appreciate so much, is it seems like he just does these acoustic covers just like for funsies, and he's not giving out a lot of that like fuck me energy that a lot of these like
Oh, yeah.
the
A lot of the
acoustic-
Killers covers. We got a lot of whiny ones that are just,
oh yeah.
yeah, big time. Look at me, ladies. It's a Killers cover.
Exactly. And he doesn't do that, and it's very wholesome. Like it's very like he just seems like a dude probably in like, Wisconsin or, one of them Dakotas or like maybe even Canada who just really likes the Killers and wants to perform all their songs on his acoustic guitar, which is super awesome. What a wholesome fellow. Like we're gonna look him up later, and he's gonna be like, like an alt-right neo-Nazi or something. But for now,
I certainly hope not.
Yeah, me too, because I want to get him on the pod, and I don't want him to be crazy. Anyway, let's here's whoa, there we go. Here's the one like full band cover. This is the band Rebel Diamond, which is a Killers cover band. Now this looks like it's a recording from like a garage or something.
Yeah.
But
yeah, the sound quality is not there.
But
right.
It looks like it's like a garage recording, but
yeah. Well, at least 3 of the 4 band members are in shorts. Only the lead singer, I can't see below his knees, so he could be in long shorts. But
you shouldn't wear shorts on stage. It's against the rules.
Yeah. Don't wear shorts on stage unless you're in Slightly Stoopid or 311. Or you're like a juggalo and you're wearing like Jinko jeans. But those are really just like really baggy capris, honestly.
Ooh, capris. I think of capris as like, and this is me being completely sexist here, as non-male clothing.
Well, they are designed with women in mind. That is true. I mean, at least they were back when capris became more of a like part of the clothing zeitgeist.
You think Capri Sun refers to your legs getting sunburned while wearing capris?
We could make it that, honestly.
Yeah, that's what it is now. Sorry, everyone who drinks Capri Sun. That's what it's about now.
What if Capri Sun is actually like a new sitcom about a dad trying to cope with the fact that his son only wants to wear capris?
I mean, that's
the Capri Sun.
This podcast gets worse every fucking week.
Yeah, oof.
So something that's kind of cool about Watch Together is I can actually do SoundCloud links. So check this out. Nice.
What are we listening to now?
We are doing a cover of the song Uncle Jonny by Thoughtbot.
Oh, that's not just the bot you get to look up porn for you?
I mean, it could be. How does this work? Hold on. I'm just gonna search Uncle Jonny Thoughtbot. Hey, we got it. Is that working for you?
Yes.
Sweet.
Oh, interesting.
It sounds like he's got 2 guitars running there.
Yeah. But it could just be the way it's produced.
When everybody else refrained,
Whoa.
my Uncle Jonny did cocaine. He's convinced himself right in his brain that it helps to take away the pain. Hey, Johnny.
It sounds
All
like
right.
like Yakko Warner doing a cover of the song from the Animaniacs. I want to.
Yeah.
I want to. Oh shit! What did I just do? I want to see if there is a. Okay, good. I want to jump ahead and see if I can hear what the part where the chorus jumps in, because I want to hear what that sounds like. So 1 second. Here it is. So like he does, he just mirrors his voice and sings it with himself, basically.
Interesting. That is one part about Uncle Jonny. We didn't even talk about it throughout the entire pod that I always thought was kind of weird and just adds to the chaos of that song, is like the random backing vocals towards the end that don't sound that great.
I mean, that's literally just the rest of the band singing. If you watch live versions, that's how they do it. We should probably here. Let's go back and do one of the live versions. And
okay.
I'm going to open up the Watch Together link because I totally closed it. So here's Glastonbury back again. We're going to... Here it is.
Wow. Yeah, it's everybody but the drummer.
Yeah.
Everybody but Ronnie.
Poor Ronnie. Always not included. It's weird. If you ever go and watch Killer's interviews, it's usually just Brandon and just Ronnie doing the interviews.
Interesting.
Yeah. Ronnie is kind of very quietly the mouth of the band, because Brandon Flowers does not like talking about himself and he doesn't like giving interviews. But Ronnie loves to talk, and he's very mouthy, and he loves to chat about the band and how cool they are, because they're the best. And
they're a cool band. It's true.
Yeah. So, Michael, what
Spencer,
are your final thoughts on the song Uncle Jonny by the Killers?
It's still not one of my favorites. One of my bottom three for Sam's Town. But I appreciate the artistry of the song and what it's trying to convey. The song structure and sound don't do much for me.
That's fair. Personal opinion, I think it's good. I don't think it's the best, anywhere near the best on Sam's Town, but it also is better than other tracks.
Yeah, certainly.
And
but we'll get there.
Exactly. And we'll see you guys next week. Thank you for listening. And we actually, before we finish, I actually do have a couple of weeks ago I joked about making a Patreon. I actually made a Patreon.
Yes.
And so
what are the details?
The site is patreon.com/Soul of a Truck, a Killers podcast. Yes, it really is all of those words.
Oh, wow.
And on there, I'm going to convince Michael to create silly exclusives and dumb videos and silly other things. I haven't decided yet, but it should be fun. So if you want to,
I love it.
If you want to donate to the pod, feel free, and have a wonderful week. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.